some examples using a perpetual system. If you've already looked at the information on the periodic, I'm going to walk through the same numbers that we used in that one for the perpetual, but I've given you some additional data. Under a perpetual system, remember, every time something occurs, we're going to update your inventory and your cost figures every time. So when we buy new inventory, when we sell inventory, we're going to constantly keep an updated total for your inventory and for your costs. Okay, so we'll always know exactly what we have and exactly what it cost us. So I've added in some sales data. Before, we knew that we had 120 items left in inventory and we had sold 180. But now I'm telling you specifically when these were sold. So we've got your beginning balance here. We've got your purchase on the 2nd of May. Then we had a sale on June the 20th. Then we purchased some additional items on October the 15th. And then we sold some on December the 2nd. So I want to figure out what my ending inventory is and what my cost of goods sold should be under a perpetual system. All right, I've set up some columns for us over here, and this is kind of a worksheet that I use whenever I work with perpetual. It just kind of makes the most sense. And I've loaded one of these, a blank one, up for you in the course so that you can use it if you like as well. So let's start and go through what we've got and kind of fill in this information, see how this is going to work under a perpetual. So we start on the 1st of January. We've got a beginning balance of 100 units at a unit cost of $20 a piece. So your total cost is just going to be your quantity multiplied by the unit cost. So that's $2,000. Okay? Now, that tells me that actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. We'll see. This proves a point. This is in the wrong spot. You're not paying attention. This is for purchases. All right. We have 3 areas: purchases, things that deal with cost of goods sold, so that's sales transactions, and then we have ending inventory. This doesn't need to be in the purchases because this isn't actually a purchase. This is just beginning inventory. So we need to put this over in the inventory columns. Okay. It's just showing what we're starting out with. Now, the first time we run through this, we're going to do FIFO, all right? So this is going to be the FIFO perpetual system. So the next item was on May the 2nd. It was a purchase, so we need to start out in the purchases area. We purchased 50 units at $22 a piece, so that means that the total cost is $1,100, all right? But we don't need to just put it in the purchases because that shows me how much I purchased, but it hasn't updated the inventory. Right now my inventory looks like we only have 100 units in there at $20 a piece. What I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to skip lines each time. Let me put one extra line in here so that we can be very clear with what inventory we have. And this is going to be very important as we go through FIFO versus LIFO for perpetual when we have sales transactions. I'm going to restate my ending inventory each time we update it. So, do we still have the 100 in ending inventory? We do. We haven't done anything with it. It's still sitting there on the shelf. So, I'm going to bring that one down because it was there first. I have to keep these in order. Then we've just now added 50 units at a cost of $22 a piece for $1,100. I can't add them together. They're at different costs. So I need to keep them separate. Okay? So now we've updated the inventory. Now I show that I have 150 units, and I show the individual cost layers, but overall right now my ending inventory equals $3,100. Okay, so now it's June the 20th, and we have a sale. So we go to the cost of goods sold section, and we sold 80 units. There's no cost data next to it because that's the whole point of what we're doing. We have to determine what is the cost. Well, we're doing FIFO. FIFO is first in, first out, which tells me that the first thing in is the first thing that is sold. It's the order of sales. First in, first out. So let's look over here at our inventory levels. We have 100 at 20, 50 at 22. Which one was there first? This is our first level, the 100 at 20. So that's going to get sold out first. We only sold out 80. We have 100 at that level. So all 80 of them will be sold at $20 a piece. And the total cost is $1,600. We also need to update the inventory. Every time we have something, we're going to be updating inventory because we don't have 150 units now. We sold 80 of those. So how many is left at that $100 at $20 level? We sold 80 of them, so we have 20 left. Okay, so we got $400 left there. We haven't messed with the 50. They're all still there. So 50 at 22 for $1,100, still there. Remember, you've got to bring them down and keep them in order, or this is going to get confusing. So make sure you do that. Just skip a line, bring it back down. All right? On October the 15th, we had a purchase. So we bought 150 units at $25 a piece for $37.50 total. Let's update the inventory. We still have the 20 units at $20 a piece for a total of $400. We still have the $50 at the 50 units at $22 a piece for $1,100 total. And now we have those 150 units at $25 a piece for a total of $37.50. Then we had one last sale of the year. On December the 2nd, we sold 100 units. What did those 100 units consist of? Well, it's FIFO. First in is the first out. So let's look at the first inventory that we have. So those 20 units at $20. So we're going to sell those out first. But I'm not done with sales because I sold a total of 100. So far I've accounted for 20 of them. So first in, first out. What's next to choose from? We've got the 50. So we had 50, 22, for a total of $1,100. Alright, but that's only 70 units. I sold a total of 100. So I need 30 more units accounted for. So that'll come out of the last level at 25 for a total of $750. Now again, I want to update this inventory. Alright, we don't have the 20 anymore. We sold all of them. We don't have the 50 anymore. We sold all those. And we sold 30 out of the 150. So we have 120 units left at $25 a piece for a total of $3,000. So now if I ask, what's the ending inventory cost? What's going to be on the balance sheet? Well, it would be $3,000. If I ask what cost of goods sold was for each transaction, well, for this sale, cost of goods sold is $1,600. For this sale, we'd add these up. Let's see, what's my total here? $2,250 would be the cost of goods sold for this transaction. If I wanted to know cost of goods sold for the entire year, I'd add up the entire column. That would be $3,850. Okay. Let's do it for LIFO. Same information. Now under LIFO, this beginning balance looks the same. And this purchase also looks the same. So I'm going to leave that data up for us. Okay, because again, so far all you've done is you've got a beginning balance and you bought 50 extra units. So we still bring these down in order. Still have the 100 at $20. You still have the 50 at $22 next. Alright, so now let's go back over, and this is when we had our first sale on June the 20th. So we sold 80 units. Well, this is LIFO now. So the last in is the first out. The last thing I have in inventory, the most recent purchase, is the first one that is sold. So now I'm starting at these 50 units at $22 a piece. So we start there, and we sold a total of 80. So we're going to sell out all those 50. And I still need some more units because I sold a total of 80. So I'm going to take 30 out of the $20 a piece level. Okay? So there's the 80 units and how they're accounted for under LIFO. So do I still have the 100? Well, I have some of them. I don't have all of them. But again, please make sure you keep this in order. So we sold 30 of those. So I have 70 left at $20 a piece. So I have 1,400. Do I have the 50 left? No, I have none of those left. We sold all of them. So we've updated the inventory. Alright, October the 15th, we purchased some more inventory. We bought 150 units at $25 a piece for a total of $37.50. Alright, so let's update the inventory because now we don't just have the 70. We do still have the 70 though. They're still there, so we want to bring them down first. Got to keep them in order. But now we also have 150 units at $25 a piece. So we add those in next. Okay? Then on December the 2nd, we have a sale. We sold 100 units. This is LIFO. Last in is the first out. So the last thing in inventory, the most recent purchases, are going to be the first ones that are sold. So again, we're looking at that 150 units to begin with. We had a sale of 100, so all 100 can come out of that last level, the $25. So $2,500 is the amount or the cost of goods sold for that transaction. Let's update the inventory. How about the 70? Did we mess with them at all? Nope, we still have the 70 at $20 a piece. And we have to keep them in order. How about the 150? Well, we still have 50 of them at $25 a piece for a total of, $12.50. So overall, we now have ending inventory of $26.50. Okay, cost of goods sold, again, that's the cost of goods sold, $1,700 for that transaction, that sale, $2,500 for this. If I wanted to know cost of goods sold for the entire month, then we would add up all the cost of goods sold for the period, which would be $4,200.